Hello and welcome to Euromonitor International's Fashion Friday podcast series discussing global trends and across the apparel industry. My name is Lina Sidorenke and I'm in the communications department. In today's episode, together with Euromonitor International's research analyst Andra Folia, we will discuss the impact of fashion brands digitalization on Eastern European market. Hello, Andra.
Hello, Lina. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
My pleasure as well. So could you please briefly explain the impact of COVID-19 on development of digitalization in Eastern European fashion markets?
Yes, of course. Digitalization actually started becoming a trend in Eastern European fashion brand strategy since years ago. However, the impact of the pandemic forced the further development of the trend in a positive way. Due to COVID-19 restrictions such as working from home, travel restrictions, lockdown, consumers were forced to spend more time inside their home, thus more time online using their devices. The situation was characterized by a general panic of getting infected, which reduced the visits to any stores and forced the consumers to look for alternative for online shopping and deliver straight to their home. Moreover, apparel stores were closed for months in most of the Eastern European countries. And when they reopened, the traffic inside was limited and consumers found it uncomfortable to shop using a mask. Therefore, they tried to avoid as much as possible any visits to shopping centers. Under these conditions that I just mentioned before, e-commerce has become a convenient way for buying clothing and footwear and a good opportunity for fashion brands to strengthen their position on the market. Apparel and footwear already was the industry with one of the highest penetrations in e-commerce, and what the pandemic did was only strengthening this trend. According to our data, in 2019, e-commerce penetration in apparel and footwear market was 13%, a quite high percentage, and by 2020, the share of e-commerce increased to 20%. So the channel overall increased by 32% in US dollar RSP, which is a huge increase. Talking about the fact, as I mentioned, that we are starting from a quite high base, not a low base, since the e-commerce was quite developed in apparel and footwear.
And what was the response to the pandemic situation of fashion companies in terms of digitalization?
Most companies, especially the leading companies, responded to this surge in sales through e-commerce by introducing innovations, because innovations are appealing to the consumer. For example, MTI TOV, one of the biggest Ukrainian retailer, actively expanded its online brand portfolio in 2020 and also extended access to its Intertop online platform, a very popular platform, creating an online marketplace for dozens of partners. The same situation was in Romania with one of the biggest online retailers, Answear, which of course again significantly increased their online brand portfolio. And they also started a quite interesting campaign, which was called Spring Black Friday, trying to stimulate consumers to shop online, since taking consideration the fact that the Romanian consumer is price sensitive and these deals are very appealing to them. Talking about online retailers, the pandemic showed a huge potential for these retailers to enter the market. A successful example is About You, who started their business in the middle of the pandemic in more Eastern European countries such as Hungary, Romania, and Lithuania. They launched a massive marketing campaign which made it almost impossible not to be heard of in the online. Their approach was collaborating with local influencers who were actively promoting the brands that they have in their portfolio to their followers. Moreover, they launched a very interesting campaign where they would offer 50% off for all the app orders if they would reach a certain number of followers on Instagram in a certain number of days. This campaign was very successful and it helped them boost their presence on social media, on Instagram, and also attract new customers due to the offers that they had on the app.
You mentioned influencers, so talking about them, are they considered important in the marketing strategy of fashion brands?
Definitely, social media and influencers are the new channels for advertisement. The importance of influencers in the promotion process has significantly grown over the past years in all Eastern European markets. Eastern European consumers are still quite price sensitive and deal seekers. And what influencers do, they provide discount codes for most of the fashion brands that they collaborate with, which these discount codes are very appealing to the consumers. This is one of the reasons why influencers are so popular nowadays, especially in Eastern Europe. Also, the presence in social media platforms of brands is a must. And most of the brands actually started to realize that and start being more active on social media because, in the end of the day, this is where their targeted consumers spend most of their times.
Did the shift to e-commerce happen only in the mass segment?
No, it did not. Actually, e-commerce penetration in luxury segment was extremely low before the pandemic. Therefore, the potential for growth was very high. The problem was that the purchasing of luxury fashion goods is highly influenced by the in-store experience, by the ecosystem that is formed in the store, and by the personalized customer service. Therefore, it was a bit of a challenge for luxury brands to try to recreate this ambience from the stores in the online. However, taking consideration the situation, most of the brands adjusted to the situation and understood the importance of having e-commerce websites and not being present online only by collaborating with online retailers. As an example, Prada opened a Russian e-commerce website in Q3 of 2020, and Louis Vuitton launched its Russian website by the end of the last year. Zoom, which is a luxury department store in Russia, managed to triple their online sales by the end of 2020. The retailer had quite an interesting approach to the situation because they offer a fast courier service which deliver goods on the same day or the next day, and they also allow customers to try on pieces before they pay for them, and then they pay the courier for the items that they don't return. Generally speaking, Russian luxury good consumers are quite skeptical of ordering online, so what the retailer did was offering a solution for this problem.
Now, talking about the future, will digitalization continue to expand after the pandemic? What is your opinion about this?
Definitely, digitalization is going to continue to expand in Eastern European market, especially in segments which still have high potential of growth, such as the luxury one that I just mentioned. We don't consider that this is just a temporary growth, and we believe that more fashion brands will start creating their own websites, not only collaborate with online retailers in order to strengthen their presence on the market and, of course, to increase their availability to the consumers, which now seem that they are not afraid of shopping online anymore and start to develop a habit of online shopping.
Yeah, thank you, Andra.
Thank you so much, Lena, for having me.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. Remember, you can find all of our media, including articles, videos, and podcasts, on our blog at blog.euromonitor.com. Thank you for joining us today.